How many of you are an expert at everything you do? Everything you know. Any experts? Well, that's funny, because so often we operate like we are experts. Okay? How many people do you know that go around acting like they're an expert at everything that they do? Do you know people like that? I see some head nods. Right? It's like we think that in order to be successful, in order for people to follow us, in order for us to be an entrepreneur, then we have to show people that we know everything. That if they see that we really don't, that they're not going to follow us. They're not going to believe in us. The opposite is actually true. Right? People want to follow people who are human. Right? And the truth is, they see your weaknesses anyway. You can spot someone's weakness. You can spot when they don't know what they're talking about. So when we hide those weaknesses, we're essentially losing trust. People aren't trusting us because they can see those weaknesses, and it's showing them that we don't have the self-awareness to know that we're not strong and that we're not acting in integrity. Right? So we're really losing trust when we pretend that we know everything. So let's talk about that. Self-awareness and integrity. How many of you know what self-awareness is? Anybody? I didn't. It was the very first thing I learned, and one of the strategies that I consistently practice today. Have any of you ever felt like you were on autopilot? Like you're just going through the motions of the day, right? Not really knowing what you're doing, you're just reacting? How many? All right, I see lots of head nods. I like to get an overall picture of how many hands we have. Yeah, well, if you think about it, going through the day on autopilot is almost like having a stranger's mind. Right? We don't know what we're doing or why we're doing it, we're just doing it. Kind of like we're all robots. I mean, can you imagine if every single one of us had somebody else's mind? Or was a robot? How crazy would that be? And self-awareness is the opposite. Self-awareness is being very aware of who you are, what you believe, why you react the way you do, how you make your decisions, how you behave. That is all your self-awareness. And integrity is just acting in alignment with those things, with your internal standards and your beliefs. Making sure that you are aligning your behaviors with your internal standards and beliefs. And that is critical. Entrepreneurs consistently evaluate their behaviors with their internal standards and beliefs. And when they are out of alignment, they move them into alignment. That's how we can stick by our decisions. That's how we can be assertive, because we know what is right for us. Right? And we know that we are acting in agreement with that. That we are not being impulsive and just reacting. Can you think of a time when someone totally overreacted on impulse and just made a fool of themselves? Can you? Maybe it was you. Think of a time when you did it? Right. Entrepreneurs are consistently evaluating and aligning their behaviors with their standards and values so that we're not acting on impulse. Because what do you think of people when they act on impulse? Are they good leaders? How does it make you feel? Let me hear it. How does it make you feel when someone's impulsive?
Depends on the outcome.
Okay, some of the emotions. Give me one of them.
Stressful.
Stressful? When someone acts on impulse, how does it make you feel? Think of them as a leader.
Seems like you're out of control.
They're out of control. Yeah. Anything else?
It can be overwhelming.
Overwhelming?
You doubt them?
You doubt them? Right. These are all characteristics that you don't want to have as a leader, right? You're completely unpredictable. No one's going to follow you, right? They're going to doubt you, right? So we want to make sure that we are not acting impulsively and that we are acting in alignment. So I'm going to show you a quick exercise, something that you can do right now to practice self-awareness, right? How do we get self-awareness? Like I said, it's something that I practice every day consistently. So what I want you to do is close your eyes for a moment, and I want you to think of a time in the past year when you learned something unflattering about yourself? What was that event? What did you learn that was unflattering? And how did it make you feel? What body sensations did you have? What emotions did you have when you learned this about yourself? What reactions? Got it? Okay, I want you to open your eyes. Now what I want you to do is look across the aisle at the person that's sitting in your seat. There's you on this side, there's you on that side, right? And what I'm going to ask you to do is to share that story with somebody. With the person across the aisle from you. But what I want you to do is not to get wrapped up in the story. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing, I don't want to share it. Right? I want you to pay attention to yourself. Be self-aware. What are you feeling? What are you going through internally when you're sharing your story? Right? And what are you experiencing when someone else is sharing their story with you? I want you to be self-aware. Okay? All right, I'll give you 3 minutes. Go ahead and share. All right, now look around. All right, you can sit down. The truth is we all have fears, and they get in the way. We all have them, they're not going to go away. And courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is strategy number 2. Do it. And it does not mean not having fear. Courage is moving forward knowing that that fear is present. Being able to move past it, to confront your risks, to confront those pains, to confront the discomfort. Right? Moving forward anyway. As a successful entrepreneur, your job is to make the tough decisions. Right? No one else gets that wonderful responsibility but you. And it pays off, but we need to make those tough decisions. And those decisions aren't always going to be the best thing for everybody. In fact, I made decisions that sometimes were better for the business than they weren't for me. They weren't even good for me. But that's your job as an entrepreneur. Right? So in order to make those decisions, we need to move past that discomfort. Move past the fear that people are going to gossip about me, and spread rumors about me. Move past the fear that, oh my goodness, they might not like me for a short period of time. Move past the opposition, that people are going to oppose it and reject it and push back as much as they possibly can. Courage is being able to move past those things. When I bought my business at 20 years old, I was so excited. I was all optimistic. I had these big plans for what I was going to do to change the business and transform it. And the day that I signed those papers, I remember going home and saying, holy crap. What did I just do? I have no experience. What if I run the business to the ground? These employees are twice my age. They're never going to listen to me. And what if I just totally disappoint my parents? I mean, my mom's not even around, but this is her legacy. What if I just totally let them down and the business just fails? And what I learned really quickly was that fear and doubt will always get in the way. They don't go away, but they will always get in the way. And they will ruin you. They will ruin you if you consistently listen to them. So you know what I say? Silence the drunk monkey. That drunk monkey running around in your head, giving you all kinds of ideas, telling you you can't do things, asking what if, playing devil's advocate, right? That's just a drunk monkey, and it's always going to throw you off course. Does anyone have that drunk monkey in their heads? What does it say to you? Humor me and give me an example. What would it tell you? Anyone? Yep.
At this point, you're not qualified.
You're not qualified. Yep, in the back.
I'm not good.
You're not good enough. Not qualified, not good enough. You're not experienced enough. You don't have enough credits. You don't have the best grades. You're young. These people are never going to listen to you. And my clients were 3 times my age. Right? And that monkey will always get in your way. But I'll tell you, that drunk monkey is your ego. That's really what it is. And the ego exists solely to keep you alive. That is its main function. Safety and survival.